I saw on Twitter a guy, hard left, saying that the single market is just a capitalist racket, and he hasn't come across any Labour supporter that can explain to him, why it's a good thing. Me, I'll answer this. I may be sick as a dog, but let me answer this question. Firstly, small businesses. Now, the whole thing about the single market is that it operates on standard rules, one rule absolutely everywhere. This is a complete boon to our small businesses working across borders. With big businesses, they can have people employed to know the differences between the rules in the different countries. But for small businesses, there isn't that inbuilt capacity. So this is massively helpful to them. Like with freedom of movement, small businesses can't wait months and months to see if visas applications are going to come through for high-skilled people that they need, such as the tech industry in London. They can't wait on that. They don't have internal capacity to sort that out. Free movement allows them to just hire from a talent pool of $500 million. Like that, it makes a massive difference to their capacity for operation. And all of the grant systems from the EU as well, whether direct to small businesses or in conjunction with universities, those small businesses say that this really helps their international networking as well. So it's good for small businesses. Secondly, redistribution of funds. Now, when you've got a big market that size, there are some areas that are more competitive than others, some areas geographically, regionally. So built into the whole single market is the EU budget, which takes 1% from each country, and then there's big redistribution to areas that need it, whether that be in Eastern Europe or Southern Europe, or in Cornwall, in Wales, and Northern Ireland. Should our own government be doing this? Yes, absolutely, but they're not, are they? And even if our government said it would, it can change from government to government, whereas this is something that's inbuilt in the single market. It goes on year after year after year. It's part of the structure. This fundamental redistribution, so that no matter wherever you are born within the EU or the other countries that subscribe to the single market, you have an opportunity there to get a good job in exciting places, because the whole single market is investing in your infrastructure and your job opportunities. Now, how, as a socialist, can you say that this is a bad model for how we should build markets together? There are so many people complaining about our net contribution without actually thinking what it's for. And if you think, oh yeah, but we don't want that on the international level, just Britain first, then maybe take some time to rethink your whole attitude, because we're trying to make a stable continent here. Okay, thirdly, lobbying. Lots of people say, oh, look at the lobbyists crawling all over Brussels. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. It's the world's biggest market. Of course, the big businesses and companies are going to be swarming all over it like locusts. In fact, I published a paper myself in The Lancet about how big pharma companies were hijacking the EU healthcare budget, their health research budget. But in an environment like that, you need civil society pushing back as well. And so there are big groups like Corporate Europe Observatory, which are constantly analysing and publishing on, rotating door issues and things like that. Now, think overall, which is more corrupt, the EU or America, in terms of food regulation, drug regulation, health and safety regulations? Okay, if you've had to think about that, then you need to go off and do some online research. Finally, this claim that, oh, but it helps rich companies and rich people make a lot of money. Yeah, well, good. When you've got a free system and there's more money generated overall, guess what that means? More taxes, more money via taxes to invest in all those local communities where they need it. And in fact, because these national governments that are part of the single market can control their income tax rates and can control their corporate tax rates, if they want, they can cream off even more of that money that's being made by the single market to invest in our NHS, in our policing, in our all of our public services that need it. So I rest my case.